in that thing, she admits she cheated on her current husband.
Yes, bro.
With Diddy.
I'll tell you this, when I was in the fucking overflow room, everyone was like, oh shit. Even I said cooked when she said that. Because the defense attorney was like, when you met with Diddy, is it not true that you had sex with him on that day? Yes, I did. Okay, is it not true that your boyfriend, who is now your husband, FaceTimed you and you declined the call? Yes, I did. Cooked, bro. They walked line by line from all the way to the consensual sex. Made her look terrible, bro. Okay, so with Cassie, let's go through this and then we'll go over the thing because we're going to talk about the discrepancies, right? So with Cassie, in her civil lawsuit and when she talked to agents, she said she got in September. Yeah. But then when they start doing trial prep, they find out, because you really start to get in the weeds when you do trial prep. Now you actually got to look at the text messages. Now you got to really analyze. Now you got to really do the full cell brights and shit. Oh, damn. This actually happened in August. So when she comes in to testify, she testifies saying, oh, it happened in August. But then the defense attorneys are like, well, you said that it happened in September. This is kind of off. And then what the defense attorneys did, excuse me, the government did when they came back on redirect was they said, did you read any of the documents prepared by the government before today? No, I didn't. Did you have the ability to correct agents or prosecutors on their documents before today? No. Are you aware of anything that they prepared? No. So that kind of saves her because she can say, look, it's a month discrepancy. It's not that big of a deal. And you didn't even see the documents beforehand, right? Because at the end of the day, it's not like a crazy overt lie. It's just a month discrepancy, right? Now, the defense went further with that though. They said, okay, you lied about this. And then they went into the, because they just built on that, right? They knew that the month discrepancy wasn't going to be that big of a deal, but then they built on that. Okay, so why are you texting Diddy heart emojis? Why are you guys communicating? Why did you guys go meet at a party after? Why do you guys continue to communicate after that? Why did you go to hang out with them on September 27th, right? 2025. This is someone that allegedly, sorry, 2018. September 27, 2018.
I want a clarification on this. I never got it for the tweets, nor anyone who spoke about it.
They're communicating for a month plus on text and seeing each other. And they're like, this is someone that this doesn't make sense. And then you had sex with Diddy.
Okay, so
that's where they got her.
So part of that clarification, even like right after supposedly this sexual assault, she then goes to she then starts dating Alex Fine, but still does free calls with Diddy and fucks him. Here's
she was with him since 2018, bro.
Okay, so there was a part where they argued with the judge. This was Mark Agnifilio, and he said, "Yo, listen, we're gonna use possibly Alex Fine as an impeachment witness. So we need him to be outside of the courtroom when we start talking about certain things that overlap."
It was the rape.
Did he step out?
Yeah, he wasn't in there.
Oh, okay.
When they talked about they got him out of there.
Yeah, because I was wondering
and they argued about that for like a day, bro.
Yeah, in that thing, she admits she cheated on her current husband.
Yes, bro.
With Diddy.
Yeah.
And I ain't gonna lie to you, I think that was effective for the defense.
I wish I wasn't in the main courtroom. Bro, I wasn't in the main courtroom for that, but I'll tell you this, when I was in the fucking overflow room, everyone was like, oh shit. Even I said cooked when she said that. Because the defense attorney was like, when you met with Diddy, is it not true that you had sex with him on that day? Yes, I did. Okay, is it not true that your boyfriend, who is now your husband, FaceTimed you and you declined the call? Yes, I did. Cooked, bro. And that looks so bad because remember, they started with, you said you got on this month, but it was really this month. Then it was, why are you communicating with, and they showed the text messages. She sent heart emojis and shit. And oh yeah, I miss you. And then they set up to meet up in person, all this other shit. They walked line by line from all the way to the consensual sex. Made her look terrible, bro.
What was the demeanor of the defense attorney, Diddy's attorney, Estavio, when she says that? Given first day, I thought she was on bullshit because she really was like, I hate to use this term, but she was giving Cassie the noose to herself with. First day, and I remember seeing that, I said, this sounds goofy. She says to Cassie, oh wow, you're pretty. Like she gives her a compliment. Yeah. And I was just like, yo, Diddy, you got another lesbian on the team. You got to get her the fuck out of here. This is game time. This bitch is over here trying to eat some pussy too. What the hell? But come to find out, she know I'm for real because I'm like, yo, ain't no way.
Because I wrote that shit.
Ain't no way I hired this bitch and she talking about you look cute. If I'm Diddy, I'd be like, yo, I freak off with Cassie, not you, bitch. You my lawyer. But she used all of that, and now I get to realize she buttered her up. She got her comfortable, right? Yeah. So she was giving her compliments like, damn, you're a pretty girl, blah, 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 blah. Which, again, this is exactly why I think they brought in a woman to do the cross instead of a dude. If it's Donaldson, first of all, he fumbled on the sex worker, so whatever.
Yeah.
If it's Brian Steele's a bulldog. You bring him in to go get the shit. You got a snitch. He's gonna turn that snitch into an idiot.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So when that happened, how'd you judge her demeanor from day one to day three? Where day three, she's basically just saying, "Come on now, girl. you know what happened. You said he you, but you were freaking off with him still. You were cheating on your husband with him.
Yeah.
You were texting A, B, and C. How was her demeanor in how she like laid that out? Because it looked slick, even through tweets.
Yeah, no, I mean, obviously, when you're cross-examining someone that long, it took them like a day and they got like a full day and a half. You know, you got to build a rapport, because the thing is okay, so it's interesting because even the way they were dressed revealed the antagonistic nature of what was about to happen. So on day one, or when Cassie was doing when she was on direct, comes in, tight dress, super vulnerable, little jacket, whatever, you know, super pregnant. When she comes in for first day across.
Could you see it over the desk, belly hanging over, or it's kind of like tucked in where like maybe the jurors are not?
The first few days when she was on direct, you could see it clearly. She came in like, with the first day, bro, she came in with a brown dress, super tight.
Looked like she ready for another.
Bro, yeah.
Come on,
and
man.
the stomach, but the stomach was poking like this. I was like, what the fuck? I was shocked that she showed up like that. I was like, what is she wearing? But it was to show that she was clearly pregnant.
Oh, okay. I thought she was dressing for the last and final.
She was in there to show that she was pregnant.
Oh,
that's what Diddy didn't want, bro. So she does that, right? She comes in. Then on the first day the defense is doing direct, she shows up, boots, black leather jacket or black jacket, big blouse, right? So you can't see her bump, hair pulled back.
Ooh, that quintessential, I'm a lady, I am not a ragdoll whore who's just like very fine.
Well, she also came with like leather boots and shit. Okay. So she was like, I'm here to fight.
Okay.
Like when I'm not
adversarial this time.
Yes, hair pulled back, wearing black, blue conservative blouse, right? That's big, so you can't see her stomach, not vulnerable. And she sat down like what? And then the defense attorney also had her hair pulled back, so she was ready to go too. It's very interesting how women fight in the cerebral. You know what I mean? But both of them had their hair pulled back, which I thought was interesting. Match, it is a chess match.
Super chess match.
You know, 100%.
How did both of their demeanors change? Because also I read this, and you could tell me when it happened or what was her demeanor. I heard she started crying at several points, and she asked for a break once.
Yeah, she asked for a break like two or three times.
Like how is this? She like, no, hold on, please, I need a break. Or are they passing her tissues? Like, what's going on in it?
When she asked for a break, it was at a time when she wasn't getting hard questioning. Okay. So it was like, I know they probably told that, do not ask for a break when you're getting like cooked. She only asked for breaks when it was like, I'll be honest with you, it was reasonable. She would ask for a break like after an hour and a half of questioning, and like the judge would immediately be like, okay, and he would be like, you know, because she's pregnant.
Yeah.
So, but she did a good job of like asking for breaks at times where it wasn't bad. Like that would make her look weak. Like, oh no, I need to get a break here. So she did good. And then when she cried, I'll be honest with you, bro, it wasn't that much, man. She cried maybe 2 or 3 times. And it wasn't like at the worst times. I know one time she cried was when she said that Diddy took her autonomy away with the like towards the end of her testimony, and she would give the money back if she could get back her autonomy, which is like, come on, man, 20M, come on, bro.
Wait, so there was a confusing part of the trial, and they said the prosecutors got the better of the exchange, and it was with Cassie on the stand. They claimed that when they had asked Cassie about a message where basically, I guess, Diddy sends to her, yo, do you want to have like a last freak off? And the response is, I don't want to have a last freak off. I want to have a first or something of the sort.
Yeah, I want to have a first freak off for the rest of our lives.
Yeah, and some people felt like, yo, she's still with it. But the prosecutors came back around and said the full context of that was her actually
saying she had a UTI.
Yeah, but also kind of lamenting the idea of freak offs and maybe almost kind of like rejecting it rather than her like saying, no, I want to keep doing this forever. Because the defense was painting this picture saying, yo, Diddy may have introduced her to the freak off, but she started suggesting the freak off. She would text him like, yo, too bad I got to work. I want to do A, B, and C. Like she looked like she was trying to initiate, which I think later the chess match that happens, the prosecutors tried to paint the picture that she only said that because it was the only way to access him. So she would like say, hey, listen, if this is the only thing you're willing to do to be around me. And I'm wondering what you get from the demeanor of their relationship. I really think that Cassie was a side chick fighting to be a main chick.
Yes.
And it was clear that
she was bad enough to be treated like a main chick.
Exactly.
Because she was hotter than, let's be honest, she was hotter
on the rock.
Recipes of Kim, but like, yeah, she was the hottest girl that he was dealing with.
But here's the thing. It feels like if it wasn't a freak off, he didn't spend that much time with her. and she was suggested to get time.
That's exactly what it was. He didn't spend time. He barely spent time with her outside of the freak-offs. And during the freak-offs, she would be doing weird shit like smearing on him.
Yo, you know what's also funny?
Bro, I was shocked when I heard that shit, bro.
Yo, there's a point where she says, yo, I suggested, and you could tell, like, there's a few things that, you know, you run a male improvement podcast, a dating podcast.
Yeah. I was shocked.
When a woman says, if I don't do it, another bitch will, you know that mentality.
Yep.
Hey,
yep,
I'm competing to keep my spot. Yo, I looked up the math today. So Dawn and especially Kerry brings it up very clearly. When she says like almost this ad hominem attack at Gina Hill. I don't know how to say her last name. Let's call her Hill. She says, oh,
Cassie hated her, bro.
yeah, she says Diddy was dating that little girl. And Mark says, why you call a little girl? She was younger than us. Here's the ironic part about it.
Yep.
At the time, that year when that happened, because Cassie was in South Africa, it's 2015.
Yes.
Cassie is 29, about to turn 30.
Yep.
The girl at the time is 22.
Yep.
And I said this interestingly enough. I said, women, he met Cassie at 21.
Yeah.
Cassie never thought, oh, I'm a little girl.
Exactly.
No, but
exactly.
now Cassie's about to hit that wall,
Bro.
30, and she's seeing him entertain that new chick.
Bruh.
He's like, yo, what's up with Diddy liking these little girls?
It's a story as old as time, man. It's so funny how, you know, when women lose their luster, they immediately will shut out any woman that has that same luster that they
Yo,
utilize.
it's not like Diddy went to get a 16-year-old.
No.
Right? Diddy met her at 21.
Yep.
Diddy
He met
went
her
to
at 19.
Yeah.
Met her even younger. She could make the argument like, well, you were even dumber when you met him.
But Diddy started dating her at like 21.
Yeah.
When he started dating her at 21, he goes to get a 22-year-old after she's about to turn 30. And now she's like, yo, what is this guy doing?